why are the media rushing to defend the hockey player who slashed the throat of another hockey player and killed him? They're also suppressing the video of the attack, which I find really interesting because they don't want you to see the moment that it happened. Over the weekend, hockey player Adam Johnson, who's 29 years old, there he is, suffered a fatal injury during an elite ice hockey game in Sheffield Arena in England. It was caused by an opponent's skate blade that sliced open his neck and cut his windpipe. And he started bleeding out on the ice. It's awful. It's awful footage, and we're not going to show you that moment. But what you can see here is, here's the moment. But we're gonna stop it after it happens. So there is the kick. I want you to watch the guy in red right here at the bottom of your screen, and then watch his leg go right up in the air and kick right into his neck. So here is Adam Johnson on the right, and then Matt Pettigrave on the left is the man who sliced his throat. Now, the skate cut right through Adam's windpipe. It cut his carotid artery. And at one point, they thought they lost him in the ambulance. Then they brought him back. They got him back briefly. And then he didn't make it through the ambulance ride to the hospital. And they just couldn't get the bleeding to stop, according to his family. It was just way too much blood. Then after Johnson's passing, his team, the Nottingham Panthers, described the incident as, quote, a freak accident. Quote, freak accident. With the media arguing that Sheffield Steelers player Matt Petgrave, who delivered the fatal blow, required personal support due to unintentionally causing the death. So you're seeing how the media is now saying, we really need to come to Matt Petgrave's support status now. We really all need to rally around Matt and make him feel better because it was a freak accident. And that's how the media is portraying it. It's a freak accident. Here's ABC Eyewitness News. Hockey player dies after freak accident in which his throat was cut by a skate blade, as if it was just like a random throat, like a skate blade just happened to pop on by. There was a skate blade that was just randomly there that cut his throat and he died. Then a BBC. Adam Johnson tributes to ice hockey player after, quote, freak accident. It's like they're all on the same email chain or something. They're all using this. Freak accident. Is it a freak accident when he just accidentally skates into a totally unnatural... Is it a freak accident when he just accidentally skates in a totally unnatural way? Watch him here, putting all of his weight and balance on one leg so that he can fully then extend his other leg and slice into a guy's neck. And he knew he was there. He did it on purpose. Boom. Boom. On purpose. CNN. American ice hockey player Adam Johnson has died following, quote, a freak accident on the ice as he played for English side Nottingham Panthers, the team said in a statement. Freak accident. NBC, American hockey star Adam Johnson has died at age 29 following, quote, a freak accident. I swear to God, every one of these media organizations is on the same email chain. It's unbelievable. Then, mostly peaceful.
I was going to say, and to be fair, like, play devil's advocate, Robert, he might have been aiming for his chest. He might have been, but the fact of the matter is he kicked him and that looked intentional and just happened to hit him in the throat. Like, it may have been accidental, but I don't think that the footage shows that it was accidental that he kicked him. He probably just didn't mean to hit him. Obviously,
yeah, I don't think he tried to kill him. Like if he,
right, exactly.
I don't think he tried. He absolutely, though, it seems, but clear from the video, in my opinion, it seems clear that he tried to absolutely commit a penalty that was outside of the rules of the game and to bring harm to him. In fact, that's how some people are starting to, a lot of hockey players this afternoon are weighing in on this and confirming what I just said. Mostly Peaceful Meme says, it's interesting how strongly the media is running damage control on this story already. Quote, ice hockey player, the Daily Mail, ice hockey player who died accidentally, killed opponent Adam Johnson with his boot blade, is, quote, absolutely distraught and has been receiving vile messages from trolls on social media. Oh, okay. So he's absolutely distraught. Imagine how the hockey player's family feels. But he's distraught. Turns out this guy is Matt Petgrave, and he has a history of these types of behaviors on the ice. In fact, leading the number of penalties per minute in the league. One of the leaders of penalties per minute. In fact, Robbie Starbuck found this. The guy who cut the player's throat is known to be a dirty player. He had the most penalty minutes last year. Horrific. Just a little bit about him from recently. Petgrave's only problem seems to be with referees and linesmen. He's been booted out of 2 of the last 4 games for abuse of officials and alleged spearing, which is using basically the end of your blade of your hockey stick and shoving it into somebody. And is also Sheffield's top penalty minute taker. He has 71 penalty minutes in 11 games. Across the entire regular league as a whole, nobody comes close to his penalty minutes in tally. So that's the real story. Okay. So now we get to the heart of the story that the media has been trying to hide from you. It's hard to find clips, actually, of him playing hockey because he never played in the NHL. But apparently he loves to do this high kick thing when he misses a check. So he loves to be able to kick players and cause problems. Here he is caught on camera a few years ago getting a penalty doing the very same thing, only this time his leg was a little lower.
Inside on Churchill. He got wiped out by Petgrave as he cut to the net.
You saw it coming like a freight train. I think Petgrave's a little hurt on the play. Favoring his right leg.
Their bench.
Let's take a look at Matt Petgrave's hit. And it's a Wumdinger. You can kind of see it. Kaboom. And it really didn't connect 100%, did they? It was kind of like a side swipe. Wow. That's got some air. There's a ticker tape.
So, however, hockey players all over social media are pointing to video footage of the incident appearing to indicate that Petgrave deliberately extended his leg to strike Johnson with his skate. McDabber, a hockey player, says, zoomed in and slowed down. Matt Petgrave should be behind bars. This is not a hockey play, he says. Dan Lyman, I played hockey in college, seen many gruesome injuries, suffered a fefew myself, never seen anything remotely like this. Looks intentional. You be the judge. Paul Revere says, Matt Petgrave, black hockey player, straight up murdered a guy, Adam Johnson, on the ice, and there's no outrage because Matt is black. What the F? Ban and jail immediately. Chad Crowley says, calling the murder of a hockey player, Adam Johnson, a freak accident is like saying the Waukesha Christmas parade attack, Waukesha Christmas attack was committed by an SUV. Haley Kennington says, we already know what he looks like in Prison Orange. Matt Petgrave better be charged for this. 100% intentional. I'm sure he didn't mean to kill Adam Johnson, but this was no freak accident. And I think this kind of sums it up. Azteca writes this and said, I've played hockey my whole life. I've never seen anything remotely close to this sick and gruesome. The attacker, Matt Petgrave, player in red, pictured left below, purposely kicks the victim, Adam Johnson, with his skate directly in the throat. Adam, unfortunately, died from his injuries. At this point, Petgrave has not been arrested, has yet to face any consequences. Meanwhile, the disgusting mainstream media is calling this a freak accident. I can assure you there's no possible way this was an accident. Your body doesn't move like this on ice. This was an attempted sidekick to the throat that resulted in a man's death. Please share if you're able. So you can play the footage again to let people see, and you decide yourself what this is. But here he is clearly using all of his weight on one foot, adjusting himself, seeing that he can't actually check and get to the guy. So here's how he's going to take him down. I'm going to hit him in the head with my foot. I'm going to get as close as I can to his neck, do whatever I can to check his body, flying my skate right up into his neck, slicing his windpipe and throat, and then he dies. Blood splurting out all over the ice. It was an awful, awful scene. And of course, we're not going to show you that part of it. But what do you guys think about this? I think the media, though, went immediately into a mode of like, we really need to protect Matt Petgrave's feelings in all of this. And at the very least, looking at his history or taking a moment to breathe and actually looking at this history of this guy, it took independent journalists, it took literally citizen journalists to point out that this guy has a history of penalties. He has a history of doing this exact thing. And apparently it's well known among the players that he has a history of this type of penalty behavior. And so, yes, of course, does he intentionally try to kill the guy? I highly, highly, highly doubt it. But he clearly meant to bring harm to the guy. And if you throw your leg up into somebody's face, what do you think is going to happen on an ice skating rink with a skate blade on your foot?
Well, and that just proves that we don't have journalists anymore at all. We have prompter readers, because if you read the headlines, they all said the exact same thing. So what happened is one agency said it and the rest of them just reported it, because they were all trying to be first. They got to beat, CNN has to beat Fox, and Fox has to beat NBC and all this other stuff. So it just becomes this free-for-all to get the information out, and nobody looks into anything. They just repeat what they're told.
Also, interestingly, it's a great point. Also, it appears from sources that I was researching today that professional hockey players were told not to speak about this. There was a gag order that was put out by professional hockey teams saying, don't talk about this. So that's interesting. Why were they being told not to comment on this? Not being told to say anything about this?
Because if anybody can analyze like what you can actually do on skates and knowing how you maneuver, those would be the people you would want to talk to,
right,
and hear from.
Right. Yeah, exactly. I mean,
unless you didn't want to hear what they had to say, you know what I mean? Like if you don't want the truth, because so
yeah, I mean, they were all over Alec Baldwin when he, think about that, right? They had helicopters flying over the set of that, covering that. Alec Baldwin killed a cameraman, a camera woman, and will he be charged with manslaughter? And so there's a lot of calls for him to be charged with manslaughter at least. And now, I think late this afternoon, we got word that the police there are now investigating it. But it took like a media outcry or social media outcry to start actually investigating this guy. And, he should, I think for one thing, actually be taken off the ice, banned from playing, and then we'll see what happens next with charges. Manslaughter.
I just got to say,
this happened in the UK, right? Oh.
Yeah.
I just want to point out too, like, this is the importance of, like, I have my issues with Elon Musk, I have my issues with the X platform and what's going on, but this is really a testament to how important that being a free speech platform is, because it's because of all the pressure that's coming from that site in most cases that these companies are caving, and things like this, the police are caving to pressure, because you're able to pressure those agencies and stuff, and X has been a great platform for that. I mean, I've seen it happen several times where other sites are still suppressing that kind of stuff.
Right. Yeah, I know, exactly, because other news organizations were not showing you the video of what happened. They just showed still images. They didn't want to show what happened in their newscasts.
Yeah, I had to search for a really long time today to find that footage.
Oh, it's hard. And the only footage you're going to find is some grainy video that we, were able to show you. That's it. So,
and I saw the full HD version on Twitter. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, it wasn't pulled down. If you would have posted that on YouTube, you post that on Facebook, you post that anywhere else, and it's gone.
Yeah.
I mean, other than Rumble and,
So, what do you think about this, guys? Double standard, certain people, certain individuals? Did the media rush to judgment on this, and are they covering it up? Let us know your thoughts on this in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching this segment here at Redacted. We are live every day at 4 p.m. Eastern Time, trying to share the stories that the mainstream media will not cover. You should also come over and join our community of Redacted Rebels over at redacted.inc. That's our private locals community where we can share exclusive content that we simply cannot share here on YouTube. Come over and join the rebellion together right now by going to redacted.inc. We'll see you next time.